Well, hello, and welcome again to the 2012fad.com. I will be your host for this evening, and my name is Charlie Bluehawk. Last night, we talked about privately owned offshore corporations and how our entire government, from your local police department all the way up to the country itself, has been privatized, meaning that every facet of our government, from your police to the local courthouse, to the state government, to the federal government, to the United States of America itself, it is now a privately owned offshore corporation. Your local courthouse is a privately owned offshore corporation. And the judges, who are supposed to be impartial, sitting listening to your case, the attorneys, both the city attorney, who's trying to put you in jail, and your attorney, who's trying to keep you out of jail, they all own shares in that particular courthouse. They're making money from any kind of business that the courthouse does. Now, in the meantime, you should also know that the local prison, the local jail, is also a privately owned offshore corporation, and that your judge, the impartial person sitting on the bench, the attorney trying to put you in jail, and your attorney trying to keep you out of jail, they also own shares in that locally owned private prison that's based offshore. So it's to everyone in the room's benefit for you to go to jail, because the moment your body is physically in their prison, they get money from the federal, the state, and the local government for you. You really need to know that. It makes everyone in the room money for you to be wrong, for you to be in prison. Today, even the United States of America is a privately owned offshore corporation. And you, me, we are the assets for the debts of that corporation. At that point, we really are cattle, but, still nobody cares. So anyway, since we are cattle, and cattle end up being cooked into steaks, I thought we might chat about microwave America, and how everything we know about our world, everything, even the safety we feel in our own homes, in our own cars, in our offices, is really just a lie. I mean, let's start with your cell phone. We've chatted about this in previous episodes. And, there's frankly not enough you can know about this. The cell phone that you carry in your front pocket, if you're a girl, you've got tight jeans, and God bless you for that, and you've got those cutesy little cell phones in your front pocket because it looks cute and smart, while it's on, it's actually cooking your body. The microwave oven in your kitchen, the microwave oven you use at work. Did you know that microwaves that come from your cell phone, from your microwave oven, from your Wi-Fi in your computer? Did you know that microwaves actually change the chemical compositions of living matter, whether it's food or it's you and me? It's actually changing the chemical composition of our bodies. Now, the Russians and the Swedish know about this, and they've published lots of studies on the fact that microwave energy changes food into poison. There really isn't any other way of saying it. There's a lot of really big scientific-y words we can use, but the bottom line is microwave energy changes food into poison. Microwave energy changes the molecular structure of everything living. And again, that's the microwaves coming from your cell phone that you carry in your front pocket of your blue jeans, and that are currently, right now, they're cooking your ovaries and your testicles. And they're not just cooking your reproductive organs, they're actually changing the molecular structure of that part of your body. Microwave energy from your cell phone that you personally bought, you paid cash for, and you're actually paying for every month. Your cell phone is crippling your body's ability to heal itself. It's also making you sterile. At least let's hope you're going to be sterile, because the sperm and the eggs in your body are also being cooked by your cell phone. The sperm and the eggs in your body are being changed at the molecular level. That means that your DNA the deoxyribonucleic acid, the building blocks of who you and I are being altered. You might want to look up deformities on the internet. Look under keyword deformities radiation, because microwave energy is a form of radiation. And just for fun, do searches on images, deformities caused by radiation. It's not something you really want to know about. But since you are going to all the trouble of cooking your own body with microwaves, you might want to see what your children will look like someday. Now, you've heard of autism. Autism, nobody really talks about it much, but it's amazing. It's up 400% in the last few years. And autism is basically, as far as I can tell, I'm not a scientist, but it sounds like the brains of your children are being cooked. Autism is the inability of children to even communicate. Can you imagine having a child who won't speak to you? Well, let's see. Why would these sort of things happen? Let's see. You eat at McDonald's. You're poisoned by plastics. That's what McDonald's food is. It's plastic. You're poisoned by left-handed sugars, artificial sweeteners. Left-handed sugars are basically battery acid, and it's in your Coca-Cola. And you know when your bottles of Coca-Cola get hot, and the Coke, when you drink it after, it tastes kind of off? It's because the formaldehyde and these left-handed molecules cooked inside of the bottle. And now you can actually taste what those things are doing inside of your body, because these chemicals, strangely enough, don't really activate until they hit 98.7 degrees, which is, strangely enough, the normal body temperature of a human being. So you drink your Coca-Cola, it tastes really sweet, but then it changes when it's heated up in your body. So, for fun, take a bottle of Coca-Cola, your favorite drink in the world, leave it in the windowsill for a few days. Let it get hot. Then put it in the fridge. Then drink it. It's going to taste terrible. That's what Coca-Cola turns into after you drink it. And in the meantime, of course, you're very kindly paying for your cell phone every month, and you're paying to have your reproductive organs, your ovaries and your testes, cooked by your own cell phone when you carry it in your front pocket. Then you go home, and you reheat your dinner from last night in the microwave. Well, that's nice. It's very handy. Lord knows I've done it for years and years and years. And I knew better, and I still did it, so I can't really blame you. But you take these really nice, tasty, healthy foods. If you go to the trouble of buying organic, which I highly recommend, you've wasted all the money buying organic food by then microwaving it, and you've turned really, really healthy, nutritious food that your body really, really needs, because you are what you eat. Period. There is no discussion. You take these really healthy, nutritious foods and you microwave them. And the microwave energy turns the food into poison. It's real simple. Again, please never, ever, ever take my word for anything. Go on the web. Look up microwave radiation food. Look at the studies that the Russians and the Swedes have done. Very smart people. We might want to actually listen to them. Research on Rense.com, R-E-N-S-E.com. Jeff Rense has been doing this for, 15, 20 years, I don't know how long. The man is brilliant. He has the most brilliant people in the world on his show. You want a real education in life, go to Rense.com. Listen to Mr. Jeff Rense interview people. Spend, I think it's $5 a month. Get access to his radio archives. Listen to everything he says. You come here for a 15-minute fast food version of the news. I just give you 15 minutes. Go to Jeff Rense. Go to Rense.com. Get a 4-year college degree. If you really want to know the facts, go there. If you just want the high end, that we call in the corporate world the 30,000-foot overview, come and visit me once a day. We'll get you pointed in the right direction, I hope. But microwaves are fun. Now, you've seen them, I've seen them, and I'm in Europe now, and everywhere I go in Europe, I see these little mini microwave towers on the top of buildings, apartment buildings. I grew up in Los Angeles, and in Los Angeles, they actually tried to hide the microwave towers by actually painting them this sort of sick green color, like a palm tree. And they even added cheap plastic leaves, fronds on the top. It was really, truly sad. They were trying to disguise the fact that these were microwave towers. Now, why would anybody do that? Well, it's really simple. Now, imagine you're carrying the microwave transmitter receiver in your pocket, your cell phone. Relatively, that doesn't have that much power, but you can still cook an egg with it in about 20 minutes with 2 of them. We've talked about that before. But if you really want someone dead, and you really want them to die quite horribly, put a microwave tower up near their house, or more conveniently, find an apartment building that has microwave towers on the top of it, and rent them an apartment on the very top floor. Because the rate of cancer and the most horrifying diseases you can imagine for people living in buildings that have microwave towers on top of them, it's astronomical. The figures go right through the roof. They become literally charnel houses. I'm sorry, that's an old word. They literally become death camps. You're actually being cooked by microwave radiation in your apartment. You're actually living inside of a microwave oven that is now your apartment. You're being cooked. I saw a report of a news crew a few years back. They were trying to get out the word about how dangerous microwave towers are. And just to prove their point, they went to the house of the local owner of a company that put up microwave towers all over that particular city. And they informed the owner of this company. They knocked on his door at home and said they wanted to let him know that they were installing a microwave tower next to his own house. This guy started yelling, screaming, threatening to sue them if they put up a microwave tower anywhere near his house, anywhere in his neighborhood. Now bear in mind, this guy made his living by installing microwave towers all over town. Strange you didn't mind putting up a microwave tower next to your house, but when it came to his house, he went nuts, and they caught it on tape. Sadly, I don't have that footage anymore. I had to abandon most of my, well, pretty much everything I owned in the world in New Zealand when I had to flee from that nightmare. Maybe I'll find it on the web someday and we'll put it up. So, of course, this is just an inconvenience to you. You say to yourself, okay, I'll turn off my cell phone when I'm not using it. I'll heat my food on the stove top, with gas or electric. And, I'll watch where I live and I'll avoid, microwave towers. That's probably a good idea. But what about your children? What about your children in their own home? Now, I've had interesting, well, as you know, I've had way too many interesting experiences in my life, and I wish they'd stop, frankly. But I had the same interesting experience twice on 2 different continents. 2 different families, 2 different fathers. Both of them had 3 children, were married with 3 children. And both of them had wireless modems in their homes, and both of them had infant daughters. And both of them used the wireless modems in their homes and put the transmitter in the bedrooms of their infant daughters. Now, I experienced this twice. Once in Nashville, Tennessee, and once in Wellington, New Zealand. One family was black, one family was white. One family was Christian, I don't know what the other one were. But it was a mother and a father and 3 small children. Each had infant baby daughters. And each used wireless. And each put the wireless modem in their infant daughter's bedroom. And always at the head of her bed, her crib. And yes, it's me, so these things, keep happening, which is what happens. And when I talked to the 2 different fathers about this, they both told me, again, the exact same story. That when their families are at home, and they had some money, so they had, each of them had a country house, a little place out, I don't know, I never was there, but they had little vacation homes. But when they were at home, in their normal house, and they tried to put their infant daughters to bed in their own rooms, both of these little girls started to cry hysterically and to fight them. They never wanted to sleep in their own rooms, in their own home. where the wireless modem was at the head of their beds, their cribs. And yet, both fathers again told me exactly the same story when they went on holiday, when they went to their summer cabin, whatever it was, out in the mountains in the forest, where there was no wireless modem in the cabin. And they put, each of them, their infant daughters to bed in their bedrooms in their vacation house. Little girls were very happy. They went to bed, they were content, they were happy, they were peaceful, they slept through the night. In both these cases, both fathers had installed wireless modems, Wi-Fi, at the head of each of their daughters' beds. And each time I had the same reaction. I was horrified. And I tried to explain to both of these fathers that they were cooking the brains of their infant daughters. And you know what? Neither of them cared. They actually said to me it was too much trouble to run the cable into a different place in the house. I've never had children, but I think that cooking your children's brains with a microwave transmitter when they're babies is a bad thing. And you wonder why 98% of the human race are nothing but cattle. That two different fathers on two different continents in two different cultures, both making a lot of money, both, as far as I knew, were very well educated. They seemed quite intelligent. One was a friend of mine. He was a nice man, hard worker. And he was in IT. They couldn't be bothered to stop hurting their own children out of convenience. And of course, their daughters were small enough and new enough in the world that they could actually feel their brains being cooked. I couldn't believe it. It's the 98%. There's just nothing you can do. I did what I could. I tried to explain it. I did. And nothing. And at the end, you just have to walk away, which is what we're doing now with the village. We're just walking away because I've had this conversation in variations for the last 40 years. I just can't have it anymore. So, you've got Wi-Fi cooking your children's brains at home. And how about at school, where wireless modems are everywhere? Well, except in England and Sweden and Russia, microwave modems have been outlawed in the schools. I'll take that back. I don't know about Russia, but I know in England and Sweden they've been outlawed for school use. In fact, it's against the law in Sweden to even build a school anywhere near high-tension power lines. And of course, why? Same reason. Energy. In this case, it is called electronic radiation. But it's a transmitter. And it's cooking us. And the younger you are, the easier it is to cook. The smaller you are, as you know, if you've ever tried to bake a potato, the smaller the potato, the quicker it cooks. So where are we safe? Well, it probably helps that you do not deliberately cook yourself. Just throw out the microwave oven. Just get rid of it. I mean, you can buy a convection oven, electrical oven. Convection ovens are wonderful, but they're expensive. Electrical ovens, toaster ovens are expensive and they get hot, but it's just heat at that point. It's not going to turn your food into poison. Turn off your cell phone, or at the very least carry it in your purse or your briefcase, and get one of those little headsets and plug in your cell phone when you have to talk on it and use the headset. That way you're not pressing a microwave transmitter against your skull. And your skull is actually acting as an antenna. It actually is helping cook your brains faster. It's like when you are boiling water on the stove and you cover the pot of water, it cooks faster. That's what's happening to your brains when you press a cell phone against your skull. And, try not to live near a microwave tower or a high-tension power line. But, in our civilization, it's really hard. But at the very least, don't help them to hurt you or to hurt your family. For all of us here at the 2012fad.com, this has been Charlie Bluehawk, wishing you a really good day and reminding you, please, keep Just keep that one good thought. The 2012 Fad is brought to you by Coffee and Blood, Love Letters Between the Dead, a series of 5 erotica horror novels about a fallen angel fighting his way back to regain his own soul, and how the CIA war against the human race. Their black magic captures and traps him in the body of a mind-controlled slave designed to hunt down and to kill their god, their Satan.